Hey everyone, this is Bob from epicaperture.com and this is the review of the Tokina 11-20 f2.8 DX lens. And before I go into how it feels like or how it looks or anything like that, I'd like to share with you my experience using it almost over a year and the projects I was able to pull off with this lens in this Tokina 11-20 f2.8 lens review. Let's get into it. Alright, now I'd like to look at this lens as an all-rounder lens. The reason for me to say that is because for me it worked really great for pictures and videos as well. You might notice that this review is going to be video centric because I use this lens a lot for video purposes. And actually the primary reason why I bought this lens was to shoot my YouTube videos. At that point in time, I had a tight space to do my YouTube videos and this lens worked really great for that purpose. But then I found myself taking pictures of landscapes and using this lens for HDR photography, and I'll show you that as well. But before that, I'll show you some video clips. I use this lens for my wedding videography projects. I'll show that first and I'll come back talk to you. Alright, so there you are. So like you saw, the wide angle nature of this lens kind of renders a really sleek look to the slow motions on the wedding videos, and the wide constant aperture of f2.8 definitely gives a nice shallow depth of field and also helped me with the low light conditions when it was really dark. With this crop sensor bodies, it doesn't work really good in dark lit situations. It kind of adds a lot of noise when you have to bump up the ISO. So the constant aperture of 2.8 definitely helped me with the low light conditions when I was using this for wedding videography. Also, as you saw, like when you use a gimbal for stabilization, like the videos turns out really good with the wide angle lens with this Tokina 11-20 f2.8. And if you wonder what gimbal I use the Zion Crane 2. And but the other thing I'd like to throw out there is that it is heavy. Like I really felt the weight, especially when you do that for like 6 to 8 hours a day. My forearm almost goes numb at the end of the day, and it almost takes a day to recover from that. But this works really good for making videos. Now, I've seen some people in their review videos complaining about the mechanical or the focus ring. Like I concur as well. Like it could have been better if this was some kind of a button like some other other popular lenses have. Maybe they have their own reasons for making it this way, but it doesn't feel really good if you have to toggle between autofocus and manual focus often. But personally, for me, it has never been an issue, because almost all the time for the video production purposes, I leave it on autofocus and I'll focus on the subject first, and I'll maintain the distance when I move with the gimbal for the wedding videos I do. So it has never been a problem for me, but it could have been better if it was a button. All right, next up is the thread size that I want to mention really quickly about. This Tokina 11-20mm f2.8 has the thread size of 82 millimeters. Don't get confused with the focal length. People sometimes get confused with the focal length of the lens for some reason. The focal length is 11 to 20 millimeters, but the thread size here is 82, which is this diameter here. I use the variable ND filter almost all the time when I shoot outdoors for videos and for long exposure photography. And if you're like me, if you're planning to buy any kinds of filters, this is what you'll have to look for. This filter, the variable ND filter here is 82 millimeters as well. So that would go perfectly onto your lens. Or you might have to, if you already have some kind of filters, see if you can find like the thread adapters, and you might have to look and find if that's available for you. All right, next up is the sharpness. The sharpness of Tokina 11-20mm f2.8 has been working really great for me. Like I've already mentioned, the majority of work I do with this lens is for wedding videography. When it is wide at 11 millimeters, it is definitely not sharp. It is soft towards the edges, but it is tack sharp in the center. So what I do is I take advantage of that. When I'm at that wide, at between 11 and 14 millimeters, what I do is I'll frame my subject in the middle of the frame, and I'll keep the subject in the center and move with the subject, and that kind of renders a dreamy effect. Like especially when it is slow motion, it kind of blurs out and it kind of stretches out towards the edges. So I take advantage of that, but for pictures, like it is definitely softer towards the side, from almost from 11 to 15 millimeters. But if you zoom in all the way to between 16 to 20, I don't think that's much of a problem because it is tack sharp all around. And if there is any, like you can fix it in post, like in Lightroom and softwares like that. But yeah, otherwise, other thing is, like I've seen some chromatic aberrations in pictures when it is wide at between 11 to 14 millimeters. Maybe 15 as well, but it is there for sure. So yeah, this Tokina 11-20mm f2.8 DX lens has been working really great for me for videos and pictures as well, as you've already seen. If you have any questions in particular about this lens, please leave it in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. And also check out my Instagram page at Epic Aperture. I post pictures for different lenses and camera bodies there as well, and different gear I add to my collection. So definitely check out my Instagram page and follow me there as well if you're interested. Other than that, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel here so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.